There's a Head and Shoulders ad that I want to talk about briefly, and I'll be out of your way. My name is Jordan. So there's this Head and Shoulders ad where a guy is in different scenarios, different situations, and he always has his head and shoulders. And people ask him, "Oh, I didn't know you had dandruff," and he says, "No, I don't." That happens over 2 or 3 times, and he keeps on saying, "No, I don't." And it just got me thinking of the different perceptions out there. Number one, number two, how people deal with issues. The first thing, I think, the first perception is people used Head and Shoulders to deal with dandruff. The second perception, which he's advocating, is if you use Head and Shoulders, you won't have dandruff. So it just got me thinking of how, as people, we are so reactive, and we don't think ahead to say, how can we avoid this, how can we prevent this? Because sometimes when you are in a crisis, the same measures that you refuse to put in place before the storm or the crisis hits are the same measures that you will have to put in place when things become sour. So at times we need to start looking at things that we can do now that can help us avoid getting the dandruff, instead of waiting for the dandruff to come, and then we start putting things in place that can deal with the dandruff, so that when next time somebody asks you, "Do you have dandruff?" you say, "No, I don't." This is particularly interesting for me. I've worked with people who are wealthy, and most of the times people say, some people who are wealthy are very frugal, or, if you like, for lack of a better word, stingy. They manage their money so well that you would actually think to ask them, are you in a financial crisis, or don't you have the money? If you didn't know better, you would ask them that, and then they'll tell you, "No, I don't. I have quite a lot of money, but the way that I got a lot of money is because of practicing what I'm doing now." So I'm just imploring you to think ahead and say, what can I do now that can, as a metaphor, what can I do now that can avoid me having dandruff? So that when people look at me next time, they'll be able to say, this person got the results they got because of 1, 2, 3 habits that they did, other than waiting for the storms to hit in your life, and then you now start having those habits, and then you start using Head and Shoulders. So that's just a thought that I thought you could, just get you thinking, to say, how can I be more proactive and put in place, discipline myself to apply certain principles that can get me certain results, other than waiting for a particular situation, to force me into discipline.